Turn it up. It's the Record Machine with your host, Jimmy Hall.
How you doing out there? This is Brian Vollmer of the band Helix, and you're listening to the Record Machine Show. Dig it. Now listen up, babe. I know you've been told stay away from my kind, but you can't always trust what your daddy tells you. I've been trying to show you, babe, I really ain't half bad. Just a man who spends his time making music. In the middle of the night, we turn the lights down low. We could be making sweet love if you feel like letting go. Tie me down, little angel. Don't wanna spend not another night without you by my side. Tie me down with your sweet, sweet love. Woman, you can tie me down and keep me satisfied. I'll keep me satisfied. Well, up to now you've been holding back, and I'm wondering what I should do to make you turn your pretty head over my way. Give me half a chance and I'll show you, babe, that I could be the one. Turn your fantasy to reality and make it come alive. In the middle of the night, we'll turn the lights down low. We could be making sweet love if you feel like letting go. Tie me down, little angel. Don't wanna spend not another night without you by my side. Tie me down with your sweet, sweet love. Woman, you can tie me down and keep me satisfied. Oh yeah, if you and I could see eye to eye, don't you know we can make it if we try? Yeah. Make it if we try. Tie me down, little angel. Don't wanna spend not another night without you by my side. Tie me down with your sweet, sweet love. Woman, you can tie me down and keep me satisfied. Yeah. Keep me satisfied. Tie me
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome lead singer of the band Helix, Brian Vollmer, to the program.
Yeah, how's it going in Canada, buddy?
Oh, pretty good.
You guys have been around for 46 years now, rocking and rolling. What keeps you guys going, man?
Well, I love making music. It's the only thing I really know how to do half-ass well, so why stop?
Nowadays, it seems like, the bread and butter is more on the touring end than it is of, record sales.
Well, that's just been ended about a month ago.
You know,
it's going to take a long time to recover for that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Time.
I'm sure. I noticed you got.
But it's gonna,
Go ahead.
People are always going to thirst for music, though. So, once again, I think artists are just going to have to reinvent themselves and find a way to survive. Maybe it's by making new material and or doing concerts over the internet. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
For us, one of the first avenues I'm probably going to explore is smaller shows, as in our acoustic show. We got like an acoustic storytelling show that we were supposed to premiere in April. We had 2 gigs set up. They were pretty well sold out shows, and they had to be canceled. We kind of did a dry run for it last year at the place called the Blythe Theatre in Blythe, Ontario, and everybody loved the show. And our audience is getting a little older, so that type of show I think appeals to them. It's not as loud. They can go and hear the actual stories behind the songs, maybe relive that time period of their life. They can talk to the band, meet the band at the show, so it's a very more of an intimate type of thing, which, because of the reduced crowd size, that might be a good avenue to explore. We also have a best of album just sitting in the can. There was nobody to press it, as in the vinyl, as in the CD with Paris Records. So we're sitting there with a new album. We're all revved up and know where to go.
Yeah, I know. I see that. I've been talking to a lot of people.
Then I always tell my crew I'm the last person, or one of the last people in the world, rather, to true bel canto, which is the old Italian method of singing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of got my fingers here, there, and everywhere. And in July, it looks like we're going to license Heavy Metal Love to a Canadian TV show. So
that's great. Heavy Metal Love, that's one of my favorite songs. Is it true that song is about Joan Jett?
It's true.
Wow. Well, were you like a fan of hers, or you toured with her? Is that how the whole idea came about?
I was just a fan of Joan Jett. I like the whole idea of if I was to think of a heavy metal chick, that would be Joan Jett.
Mm-hmm. Does she know it's about her?
I don't know.
She may now.
I've never played with Joan Jett. It's one of the few artists, actually, that I haven't played with. I'd love to. Actually, a very good friend of mine, Dutch Michaels, is his name. He used to be the road manager for Heavy Petty anyway, Dutch introduced me to my wife, Linda, and Dutch is very good friends with Joan Jett and worked for Joan Jett for years.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen her, I think, once or twice over the years, and she's always been great. But I thought that was pretty cool when I heard that, and I just figured I'd bring it up when I had you on the air. So I think that's pretty cool. Another thing I wanted to ask you about is the song Rock You. I mean, that's like one of my first memories of the band Helix when MTV came out and they were showing all the videos and stuff like that. Great song. It's timeless. I've heard it at, sporting events, on MTV, on the radio. I read somewhere that song was used in a Labatt Blue beer commercial at one time?
Well, actually, there was big controversy over that song being used in the commercial, because what happened was the song actually came from, it was written by Bob Halligan, came to us by way of Barry Bergman, who was in close contact with Tom Tremousse, who did our first couple albums. And anyway, I should have been singing with the song, shoot, I got off track here. But that song became a huge hit for us, and but before we released it, it was recorded for a commercial. The commercial was supposed to come out for the beer commercial after the song was released, but they got it backwards, and Capitol threatened to sue Labatt's Blue over the song, and so they pulled the commercial, and then we had to do another commercial with Heavy Metal Love, and it went something like, make your move to blue, Labatt's Blue, make your move to blue.
Nice.
And that's how that happened.
Now, you had another video that had some controversy in it as well. Didn't you cover a Crazy Elephant song?
It was Gimme Gimme Good Lovin' and Rock You, both had X-rated versions. The Capitol Rec got us to do the two versions because it was the dawn of the Playboy channel. Mm-hmm. And then they thought they'd get a jump on that by having one of their heavy metal bands, i.e. Helix, do two different versions of the same song. One X-rated where the girls went topless for the Playboy channel, and then the normal version. In Canada, on Much Music, you'd always see the X-rated version accidentally get played at night, which was kind of funny because I'd always hear about it from friends. They'd call me up, like, I didn't play the X-rated video last night.
That's funny, man.
Well, Tracy Lawrence was in the video for the first song, so was Rip Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
And when we filmed the video, we filmed it at Francis Ford Coppola's old studio down in Hollywood. And next door to where we were filming the Gimme Good Lovin' video, Richard Pryor was filming his kids show. And I remember Richard Pryor and Robin Williams and Rip Taylor all came over to watch us film this video because we had Tracy Lords, we had girls from Playboy, We Magazine, the Solid Gold Dancers, all in this video. And, there was the topless version, so they came over to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And Robin Williams actually did a little skit for me for my movie camera, and so did Rip Taylor. But all three of those guys are now... So one of the highlights of my life was actually meeting those three guys that day.
Yeah, very talented people. You've appeared in many music videos, but you've also been in a few movies. What was it like working with the Trailer Park Boys on their movie and their animated series?
Well, I met the Trailer Park Boys through Mike Clattenburg, who was the director of the show, and I was introduced to Mike Clattenburg through our drummer at the time, Archie Gamble. He emailed me one day and said, "Hey, did you know you got mentioned the Trailer Park Boys?" And I go, "Who are the Trailer Park Boys?" And so I went and watched an episode, and I was blown away. I thought it was the funniest thing I ever saw. And so I contacted Mike Clattenburg, who's the director of the show, and we became friends. And they filmed out in Halifax, Nova Scotia. So I said to Mike, I said, "Look, if I fly out my own dime, can I come watch you film the show? Because I've never seen a TV show being filmed." So I said, "Sure." So I flew out there, and they picked me up at the airport with a limousine. They drove me down, and I met the Trailer Park Boys, and it was really ironic because to them, I was a big star. So they came over, and they were talking to me and stuff, and we became really good friends. And when I went to leave at the airport, I had to leave the next day. I went to check my luggage before I went through security, and I found a 14-inch tinfoil penis in my luggage, ready to set off the alarms at the airport. But after that, we did a tour of Western Canada. We spent 10 days with them out in Western Canada with the Trailer Park Boys and Swollen members. And then I was in Countdown to Liquor Day. And in that movie, I was in a scene with Alex Lifeson from Rush.
Mm-hmm. That must have been special. I mean, Rush and Helix, they're legends with the Trailer Park Boys. They talk about you like you're Jesus Christ. They love you guys.
They do. Well, every time I'm out in Halifax, I phone up Rob. I got his number, and we get together, and sometimes we go down to the studio where they film, where they do swearing at. The funny thing is, I'll phone Rob, and they're such down-to-earth guys. His wife will answer the phone, and she'll say, "Well, Rob's out in the garage," and I'll hear her go, "Rob!" And you hear a voice, and all of a sudden you hear bang, bang, and they'll come to the phone and say, "Hey, what's up?" Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Any plans appearing in the future with the Trailer Park Boys? They have anything lined up, you think?
Well, last year I was in their cartoon show that appeared on Netflix. Right. I had a little part in episode 10 of the cartoon show. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I always throw it out there to the guys, if they want to include me in anything. But, ultimately it's up to them, and I don't want to bug them because, they really are big stars. And I'm amazed at how they can stay being such down-to-earth people, because everywhere they go, they're recognized nowadays.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine, one of my really good friends, Dan. He actually goes to all their cruises and stuff. He loves it. I've seen every episode of the series, every movie, and also the animated one that you spoke of, and I thought it was great that they had you in there, and because I'm a big Helix fan, and I thought it was great that they had Rush in there too, because I love them as well.
Well, when we toured with them out in Western Canada, we did 10 days from starting in, I believe, Calgary, and we ended up right up to Vancouver and back. And I filmed every night with my camera. They let me. I just walked backstage, and so I got some really good stuff. I've told Rob now for 2 years I'm going to send him the footage. I still haven't done it because I've been so busy, but eventually I will. But I got one particularly great shot where it's they're about to go on stage, and Bubbles has Conky on, the puppet. Yep. And they do a little skit about the end of the tour that they got, and I filmed it right. It's pretty cool. But there's lots of other stuff I got in film as well.
That's awesome. You mentioned before that you're a teacher. How did you get into teaching classical vocal technique, bel canto?
Quite simply, I lost my voice in 1976. I was told by throat specialists I'd never sing again. And my manager at the time sent me to a voice a coach by the name of Edward Johnson. He was the youngest member of the New York Metropolitan Opera, and he was one of the few Canadians that sang at all 3 major U.S. opera houses, including Carnegie Hall. And Ed Johnson taught me the old Italian method of singing called bel canto. He took me aside when I first came in, and I had nodes at that point on my vocal cords, which is usually the kiss of death with singers. And he took me aside and said, look, he said, just do as I tell you to do, and your nodes will go away. And sure enough, in 1 year of coaching under him, my nodes went away. And but it took me years to fully regain my confidence after that. And then I started teaching around 1989.
Wow.
And ironically, now I'm one of the last people in the world to teach this technique, which is probably the best classical tech there is. And very few people in the world know how to do it.
Now, do you do that virtually online, or people have to go to your residence?
You have to go to my residence. It's very difficult to teach it online because when you teach it, you have to be able to hear the vowel sound. That the student is producing, because you could tell everything from the person's singing voice, from the sound of the vowels and what they're singing. So I could take 2 hours and explain it to you if you want. But essentially with online stuff, there's always a little bit of a delay, and so you can't really teach it. You need to do it in person. But what I am going to do is I'm going to put up a website that I'm working on for 2 years now, actually. And it's going to be as kind of how to teach yourself video, and then there'll be spots where when you get to certain points that you can maybe phone me or do a conference call on Facebook or whatever, and talk to me and review what you've already done, and I can watch you over the internet. So
that's awesome, man. In 2017, you put out a solo album, Get Your Hands Dirty. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it didn't sell shit, but I was very proud of that album. I did that album with Gavin Brown, who has won a Grammy for working with Lady Gaga, but he's won all sorts of Junos up here for working with different Canadian bands. He also was a drummer for Big Sugar. So he's a big-time producer, but he played drums and he produced this album. And we wrote the lead track, him, myself, and Sean Kelly. Sean Kelly plays with Lee Aaron, Alan Frew, Nelly Furtado, all sorts of some quality musicians working on the album. Daryl Gray from Helix played bass, and Cheryl Lescombe, who's, in my opinion, one of Canada's best blues female singers, sang background. So, good players.
The current CD, Old School, it's out on Paris Records right now. That must be pretty special to you because it features a few songs from the late Paul Hackman. Can you talk about that CD a little bit?
Sure. No, more than a few songs, pretty well the whole album. That album came about when I was cleaning out my closet downstairs, believe it or not. I moved, my wife and I moved last year after 28 years of being in Planet Helix, which was the name we dubbed the house. And there's a great big downstairs closet with all these 2-inch tapes and all this memorabilia that I'd shoved in over the years. And I started taking out all these tapes and going through them. I realized I had an album's worth of tracks that kind of partially recorded or whatever. And so we put that album together and called it Old School. Daryl produced. We had Siegfried Meyer, who's won Junos once again here in Canada, produced. And then Harry Hess from Harem Scarum mastered the disc.
Any plans now? Like, are you going to wait till 2021 to tour this record, Old School?
With Old School? Well, Old School is pretty well, it'll probably run its course by the time we get out there and play again. We'll probably release Heat Sleep Rock around August the 1st on vinyl worldwide, and Tom will probably come out with the CD around the same time period. I'm trying to think of perhaps a video for whatever song on the record. I'd like to do a video actually for the Tequila song, which is one of the tracks. I have an idea, but I don't know. One thing, having an idea, it's another thing getting it to conclusion. So it's lots of things going on, and plus I got my real estate stuff going on as well. So I'm not going to be playing. It's a good thing I got something else to do. Yeah,
I noticed the other night you guys ran a show from 2018 from Maxwell's.
Well, that's another thing. I talked to Chris Jokey, my guitar player. He went and hired the cameraman that night that came out. And I wasn't paying attention when he came to me. It sounded like it was a couple of his friends wanted to shoot the show. I said, whatever, because all the stuff going on with Fritz. And then when I saw the finished product, I went, "Whoa, this is pretty damn good." So I talked to Chris, and maybe we'll put together a DVD, film the acoustic show, put them together, and put out a DVD, or just put out the Maxwell show and add some extra footage. I got tons of footage. I'll never have a lack of stuff to do. Just all films I got to go through. I get films that go back to 1976. You start with home movies, then they go into when they used to have video recorders, and then the mini discs, and then digital. So I have hours and hours and hours of film. I have 8 hours of film just from 1989 touring with Ian Gillan across Europe.
Wow. Any plans to make
I've never gone through it all. I've never gone through it all.
Wow. You should one day. I mean, why not? You might maybe you can make a movie.
I got enough to make 8 movies.
That would be pretty cool. Like a Helix movie with all the backstage footage and, the making of certain videos and conversations and interviews. I think that would be pretty damn cool.
You could go on forever. But the thing is, right, sometimes you get overwhelmed.
Right.
Like I have such a glut footage. A glut of footage that literally, you could spend forever. So is somebody going to watch something that's more than 90 minutes long? I don't know.
Well, you could do
should you release it 5 minutes at a time on Facebook? I don't know.
Hey, you never know. Netflix might be interested in something like that if you could put something together that's an hour and a half.
It's a pretty long shot, believe me.
What's that?
A long shot.
It's a long shot.
It's a real long.
With this pandemic, obviously there's no shows right now. Everything's canceled and stuff like that. But if people want to get news on Helix or buy T-shirts or your music, they can certainly go to your website, right?
Yeah, sure.
And that's Planet Helix.
Yeah, it's all connected.
Right, but your website's planethelix.com, correct?
That's correct.
Cool. Any final thoughts before we go?
No, it's just interesting to talk to you. I'm sorry it was a little bit meandering. I just came back from my job site, so my mind's wandering, right? But that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm just focusing on keeping the band in the public eye through stuff like Live at Maxwell's, possibly the acoustic show down the road, getting the DVD out there with those 2 shows on it, getting the vinyl out for the compilation album. And I think, if I were to predict when everything's going to start to get back to semi-normal, I would think it's going to take a year and a half. That'd be my guess. So in the meantime, I told my guys, we got to keep in shape, vocally and playing wise. So we're going to start gathering about once a month to practice because we live all over Southern Ontario. And we're going to, I think, start writing the next Helix studio album and try to have that maybe ready to go by the time things get back to normal.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, Brian. It's been great having you, and I hope you guys can get out on the road real soon and entertain the fans like you normally do.
I'm sure we will. It was great talking to you today.
It was great talking to you, Brian, and I appreciate you coming on the show. Thank
you very much for having me.
All right, we'll talk soon, buddy. All right, when the new record comes out, I want to have you back on. All right,
Will do.
All right, take care, buddy.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.